Not yet. Councillors, we will start in 1 minute, please. Councillors, can I have your attention, please? I welcome you all to this meeting of the Cardinia Shire Council. This meeting commenced earlier in the day to consider 2 confidential matters and was adjourned, and I now reconvene the meeting. This meeting will be conducted in accordance with the Council's governance rules, and it is important that members of the public present in the gallery respect the setting and do not disrupt the meeting, particularly during debate and discussion by councillors on items in the agenda, and in particular, do not interject during the debate. We will commence the meeting with the following reflection. I would ask those gathered to join us now for a few moments of silence as we reflect on our roles in this chamber. Please use this opportunity for reflection, prayer or thought to focus on our shared intention to work respectfully together for the well-being of our whole community. Thank you. The Cardinia Shire Council respectfully acknowledges that we are on the traditional land of the Boonwurrung and Wurundjeri people and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We have not received any apologies. However, I note that Councillor Owen has requested a leave of absence. Can I have a motion, please, to adopt the minutes of the previous meetings as listed? Councillor Davies and a seconder, Councillor Cameron. All those in favour? I declare that carried unanimously. Councillors, any declarations of interest? I see none. Thank you. The items on today's agenda are as follows. Item 6.2.1, Variation Report, Contract 21-031, Pavement Renewal Works, Soldiers Road, Caldermead. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Cameron, are you?
Thank you. I wish to move the officer's recommendations.
Thank you. Can I please have a seconder? Councillor Davies, thank you. I'll go to the mover to speak.
Thank you. I move that council note the contents of the report and provides authorisation for the variation of $328,998.37 to the contract 21-031 Pavement Renewal Works 2021-22 to increase the contract price to $2,684,916.51 exclusive of GST. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go to the seconder, Councillor Davies, if you'd like to speak.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Cameron, for withdrawing this item. It was in October 21 that Council resolved to tender and enter into a contract with Downer EDI Works to undertake the works associated with the contract, which was pavement renewal works on Hine Road and Pakenham Upper, Pitt Road, Iona, McDonald's Track in Lang Lang, and Soldiers Road in Lang Lang for the contract sum of $2,355,918,000, and it is under Council's current procurement policy that any contract variations over 10% must go to the Council meeting. I am advised that the required variation is over. Have I got the wrong report? Okay, moving on. So I just wanted to confirm that I have reviewed the document, and I am confident that the increase, although it is 10% of the awarded price, that the variation for additional works to identify during the excavation and the installation of guardrail to improve road safety and drainage in the designs despite challenging road conditions is an effective investment. So as such, I do support the authorisation of the additional funding as per the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. Any other councillors who'd like to speak to this item? I see none, so I'll go back to the mover to sum up.
Thank you, Mayor. Back in 2021 to 22, the works at Soldiers Road under the program were initially planned to be delivered with council funding. At the time, however, an opportunity arose for those works to be funded through the federal government local roads and community infrastructure program, and as such, the funds were allocated to deliver Soldiers Road. The majority of the work, 2.6 kilometres, were completed in 2022. But there needed to be a wide roadening at a road widening, I beg your pardon, at the Caldermead Road end for traffic to get into the football ground. And unfortunately, this turning lane encountered significant delays due to wet weather, major design changes and clashes with underground services. So the project has gotten underway again, and unfortunately, due to the time constraints, the cost in the underground reconstruction to make the roads safe to travel on, and it can't be completed without the extra funds because of the cost blowout. And due to the fact that we couldn't get concrete pipes either for the culverts that needed to go in. So that's the reason for the request for the extra funding to go into this project. Thank you, Ma'am.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron. We will now put this to a vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 6.2.2, Community Engagement Update. I see Councillor Kowalczyk, would you like to move this item?
Thank you, Mayor. I move that Council notes the report.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Davies. I'll go to the movers first, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Davies, for the second. Very happy to move this tonight, as it's important that we get out and talk to our community about the work that we're doing. I want to highlight the Pakenham Revitalisation Project. Expressions of interest were sought on the Creating Cardinia website, where we looked for 45 participants who would be interested in taking part in a workshop to understand the meaning and impact of the project on the wider community. Getting people involved early promotes local ownership and allows council to get input into the development of the brand we use for the project. Very excitingly, we've got 350 responses. That's a great result. It really adds momentum and highlights how important this one is to people. I just wanted to say well done to everyone involved for doing things a little bit different with this engagement. We got some feedback about that and recognising the impact this project can have. We know how significant this can be to the people of Pakenham, and it goes hand in hand with the future of the town. I want to make sure we really respond to what our people tell us during this process and implement as much as we can of what they want to see in our activity centre. Now, this project is a big undertaking. There's 12 stages and it includes not just footpaths and drainage, but better access for people and improved connections to future state infrastructure such as the new station and the community hospital. Critically, it'll also lift the level of amenity in the town and will encourage and strengthen our business community. A large part of seeing this come to fruition is funding. To date, we've received $1 million from the state government's Growing Suburbs Fund, as well as allocating $1.4 million in our upcoming budget. But I would ask our state and federal government to strongly consider this project within relevant existing funding streams, such as the Thriving Suburbs program and the various other programs they have available. We know this project stacks up in a competitive grant process and are actively pursuing those opportunities. We need additional funding to really fulfil the ambitions of the Pakenham Revitalisation Project and to help us to create a town centre that's built better. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kowalczyk. I'll now go to the seconder, Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Kowalczyk, for your wise words about the Pakenham Revitalisation community engagement. It is truly an exciting project, and I do want to echo thanks to the 350 participants. It is so important that we tap into locals and what they want, because as individuals on a council, we know what we want and we need to listen, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. I'm also pleased to acknowledge some fantastic consultation in progress on our Creating Cardinia website in terms of the community policy community safety policy and framework, where council is actively seeking engagement to develop a framework to respond to safety across the Shire. So up until 2nd of July, the survey will remain online, and then community pop-ups, Cockatoo, IGA, Pakenham Market Place and Lang Lang are all proposed as sites. And I would encourage anyone in the community that would like to have their say to engage with council staff, because deliberative informed consultation is critical. Community safety is a multifaceted area, and we want to hear from you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. Any other councillors who would like to speak to this item? Councillor Ryan. Thank you, through you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Kowaczyk, for bringing up about the Pakenham Revitalisation project. It's a really important project. It's been a long time waiting to happen within our community of Pakenham. And it's great to see so many participants that want to express their interest and be part of this this involvement of creating something new and wonderful. It's and as Councillor Kowaczyk has pointed out, that we do need more funding, and we always need funding for lots of things. But this has been this is a big project, and I think that the more people that want to be part of it, the more we have a voice to be out there where the government does listen to us and does put funding towards it. So thank you. Thank you, Councillor Ryan. Any other councillors who would like to speak to this item? I see none, so I'll go back to the mover, Councillor Kowaczyk.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. Just wanted to thank my fellow councillors, Councillor Ryan and Councillor Davies, for their contribution. As I said at the outset, I think it's really important that we do a good job of engaging with our community, and this report is always good to note because it shows and really highlights where we're doing that. So just want that noted. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. We will now put this to a vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 6.2.3, Audit and Risk Committee Biannual Report. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mayor. I move as per the report that Council notes the Audit and Risk Committee Biannual Report as presented by Chairperson Michael said.
Thank you. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Kowaczyk. Thank you. I'll go the mover first to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councillor Kowaczyk. It is under Section 54, Part 5 of the Local Government Act that the Audit and Risk Committee must prepare a biannual report for the Chief Executive Officer to table at a council meeting. So this is the 5th of these reports to the Cardinia Shire Council, and it covers 2 Audit and Risk Committee meetings since the formation of the new council, the current council, in November 2020. I'm fortunate to be a member of the Audit and Risk Committee along with Councillor Kowaczyk. It's chaired by Mr. Michael Said, OAM CPA, Vincent Philpott and Leanna McCombra, and I would like to just briefly acknowledge the objectives and purposes of this committee, which is to provide support to the council in discharging its oversight responsibilities relating to finance and performance reporting, risk management, fraud prevention systems and control, internal and external audit, assurance services, and the council's compliance with policy and legislative and regulatory requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. I'll now go the seconder, Councillor Kowaczyk.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Davies, for moving this item and also being a great member of the Audit and Risk Committee. Councillors will already be aware of the obligation to receive and note the biannual report from the Audit and Risk Committee, and that's what we're doing tonight. For the 2 meetings this report covers, under financial and performance reporting, there were comprehensive quarterly and year-to-date financial and performance reports presented and discussed at both meetings. There was a discussion about the adjusted underlying result year-to-date and full-year forecast and the impacts that cost of living increases may have on our residents as well as on our council revenue, as well as expenses and cash flow. As part of our risk management oversight, we looked at council's strategic risk register and noted updates and ratings from management. We also regularly discuss fraud prevention, systems and controls, and reviewed papers from our internal auditor, including current audits being undertaken and reports from various agencies highlighting emerging trends and things to be aware of. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kowalczyk. Are there any other councillors who would like to speak to this item? I see none, so I'll go back to the mover to sum up, please.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councillor Kowalczyk, for your comments. As members of the Audit and Risk Committee, we are presented with a lot of important information, and it is a real honour to be able to review this on behalf of the community. Comprehensive quarterly and year-to-date financial and performance reports are presented and discussed at these meetings, in general, the areas we assess include the internal control environment, and the Audit and Risk Committee in these meetings has reviewed the various data analytics papers. Likewise, the risk management has been reviewed and discussed. Minutes for all strategic and extreme and high operational risks have been made available to the committee, and the council's management have undertaken a detailed review of all strategic risks, and a number of risks and their ratings have been amended, merged and marked as no longer required through effective risk control. The committee chair has considered that it's very pleasing to see continued commitment from council senior leaders to continue to build on a risk management culture across the council. The committee also consider fraud prevention systems and controls, and it has been established that the process and contents of the policy and the planning demonstrate that this council is committed to prevention, deterrence, detection, investigation of fraud and corruption. Likewise, the committee monitors outcomes from reviews by the integrity bodies, which include the Auditor General, the Ombudsman, IBAC and Local Government Inspectorate. Internal audits is another matter for review by the committee. And finally, compliance, where the CEO provides the committee with an update regarding any non-compliance matters relating to council policy or legislation. And in our most recent report, there's been no instances of non-compliance issues. So I would just encourage all councillors respectfully note the Audit and Risk Committee's biannual report as prepared. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. We will now put this to a vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 6.2.4, leave of absence, Councillor Owen. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Ross, are you moving the officer's recommendation?
Yeah, I'll move the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. May I call for a seconder? Councillor Moore. Thank you. I'll go to the mover to speak.
I just move the officer's recommendation that under the Act, a councillor can request leave, which Councillor Owen's done, and I just support that because it's within the boundaries of what he can do, and I just look for the rest of the councillors' support to give him that leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ross. I'll go to the seconder. Councillor Moore, please.
Yes, I want to thank you, Councillor Ross, for bringing this up, withdrawing this. Yes, I agree that I can see Councillor Owen's requested leave absence from his councillor duties following a workplace injury while performing his duties as a member of the Victorian Police, as we know, and result in being on work cover and working reduced hours. So understandably so why he's got time out, and I'm happy to support that, and I feel for him and I send him my regards. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Councillor Kowalczyk.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Councillors Ross and Moore. Yeah, obviously happy to support this. I think it's a pretty easy one. I just wanted to wish Councillor Owen a speedy recovery and look forward to having him back in the chambers if he's watching tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kowalczyk. Any other councillors who would like to speak to this item? I see none, so I'll go back to the mover to sum up, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I just echo my fellow councillors. We hope that he's on the mend soon, and it's very, very few occasions the councillors ask for leave. So when they do, you know that they're committed, they turn up all the time and they're party to everything we do. So to give him a bit of leave, he obviously needs it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ross. We'll now put this to a vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 6.5.1, Major Projects Report. May I have a mover, please? Councillor Cameron, are you moving the officer's recommendation?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I move the officer's recommendation.
Thank you. Can I please call for a seconder? Councillor Moore. Thank you. I'll go to Councillor Cameron first, please.
Just getting my. Sorry about the delay. I just ask that the report be noted, and as part of the reporting process to council, this monthly report provides an update on the status of the major roads project. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron. I'll go to the seconder. Councillor Moore, please.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councillor Cameron, for withdrawing this item. I'd just like to bring up one particular item on there, Mayor, if I may. These are our progress reports for the month, which is fantastic to have. It's the Door Road, Narnagoon. It's actually called Narnagoon here, but it's really Narnagoon North. The ceiling of that project is a construction of Door Road, including pavement and some curbing and channeling and underground drainage. I want to make a point of the radar that we have used along that road area to trace the tree rooting system underneath the roads to identify the removal of trees and not removal of trees. To remove trees and not remove trees, that's like Shakespeare, isn't it? To be or not to be. But so it's a great idea to be able to establish what trees will impact on the pavement for the future. And so it's innovative of what is happening along that. And it's been a long time coming, that project. It's fully funded by council. People get confused between the Ceiling of the Hills funding and these particular roads, but this is one that's funded by council. It's so it's a great project, and the program tends to be completed by the end of 2023 this year. So it'd be really great to have that done and dusted. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Are there any other councillors? Councillor Ryan.
Through you, Mayor, thank you. Just a couple of items on the major reports. One of them is the Pakenham Regional Tennis Centre. The tender for the construction has now been awarded, and the project is funded fully by council. The project is expected to be completed by the third quarter of 2023, which is great news. That's been a long time coming. And the other one is the Cardinia Youth Hub. Completion is by the end of 2023. I continually go down there, have a look, take photos, and the progress is happening really, really well. Our youth are really keen to see it finished the end of the year, and I think it's a great project, and we've got a lot of youth. The numbers will go up for the usage of our youth in the area that need some of the services, including the music studio too, because we've got some up and coming beautiful young talent within our community. So I'd like to see that encouraged within our community. So that's all I've got to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ryan. Any other councillors who would like to speak to this item? I see none, so I'll go back to the mover. Councillor Cameron, please.
Thank you, Mayor. There's just one thing, one of the items listed, Mount Lyell Road, Heath Hill. It's fantastic to see this has been finished, and the road hasn't been finished, but all the investigation work and everything's been done. The design's complete, and the permits are being finalised to enable tenders to be called in July this year. So the residents on Mount Lyell Road will be overjoyed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron. Okay, we'll put this to a vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. That concludes discussion of the agenda items tonight. So I will ask if any councillors have any matters to report. Councillor Ryan.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. I know the community always likes to hear what we're up to, and it just shows that we do, even if we look like we're not doing much around the area, we do a lot. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to report on the activities that we attend. So one of them was the volunteer reception night. That was an absolutely fantastic night. I think all the councillors were there. We all had a fun night. And you know, the music was a bit loud, but you know, it was probably because no one was getting up dancing, but they were really fantastic. And it's great to see more and more numbers coming along there, and each year we hope to see more. So it just validates the volunteers that we really appreciate that get in there and roll their sleeves up and contribute to our community. On the 6th of May, in Pakenham, the CBD Railway Precinct Safety Committee meeting that I go to on a regular basis. That's working alongside with VicPol and the retailers within the community. We like to keep up to date of what's happening, and any issues that we're concerned about, we always are putting it out there to the concerns to whoever's involved, whether it be the police or whether it be the Salvation Army or whether it be other things that are happening within our community. So they're a great group, and I'd encourage more people within the CBD of Pakenham to get involved, because the more we hear about what's going on in our area, the more that we can manage it and make sure it's a safe environment. The Main Street on the 8th of June at Pakenham Place, I was there with the pop-up group, a stall there, and it was in reference to the Pakenham Main Street revitalisation and what's happening there, and just talking to the community and having a great interaction and seeing what other people think about what's happening in the community, and again, you know, their feedback, which is really, really important. It also was about ageing well, U3A, Men's Shed, living and learning, all the activities that go on within our community and the groups that are there, and what sort of involvement that you might want to get involved with. Also, Forget Me Not, and so there's some of the pamphlets that we give out. And on the 15th was World Abuse, Elder Abuse Awareness Forum that I went to in the city. There was over 2,500 people there, and it was absolutely wonderful to see so many people contributing in their concerns about what they think is not happening, and then the more they talk about it, they're finding that they're opening up more. And so I think it's and I think we had Elder Abuse Awareness Day down here as well, with the councillors attending that. So always important. Again, I encourage the community to get involved in that as well. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ryan. Any other councillors? Councillor Cameron.
Thank you. I just would like to mention a lunch that I went to. It was and I'm not even going to be able to pronounce it properly, midi lunch at Outlook in Tumut Valley Road in Pakenham. What a wonderful bunch of ladies, and the food was magnificent, I have to say. They gave me a traveller to take home, so that was really good. And it was a great afternoon. It was really lovely. I attended the 100th birthday celebrations for the Kuirup Hospital. That was great. There was stalls there. They had face painting. Afternoon tea was supplied by the auxiliary ladies, and lots of memorabilia from the hospital. I was born at that hospital, so it was lovely. Councillor Moore was also there, and Lily Rossick. She spent too much money, I think. And yeah, so that's the volunteers night, as Councillor Ryan said, was wonderful. Everybody had a really good time, so thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron. Councillor Springfield.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick couple of mentions. Back at the end of May, on the 30th, we had a wonderful event in Emerald, which was it was to mark the Reconciliation Week. So we'll note that the Mayor was there doing a fantastic job of a speech. The Deputy Mayor was there, also Councillor Ross was there. So I thank you everyone for coming out and enjoying the wonderful facilities out in Emerald there. And we had a lovely event, and it had all the different primary schools from that area came up. I think Emerald Secondary College, so I should mention there was a secondary college there too, and they all came up with their own statements of reconciliation that they put together. But seeing the kids come together and have this thought process around what reconciliation might mean to them and to their community, and being put into their own words, that was really a touching moment. So really hats off to the organisers from within council that really did a great job of connecting the community through that. And just a quick mention, I don't want to steal Councillor Moore's thunder, but I did attend the on Wednesday. I did attend the World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and Councillor Deer. It was on Thursday. Oh, on Thursday, sorry, on the 15th. It was. Councillor Moore did a fantastic job of emceeing that event. So hats off to him and to the group for our council officers for putting it together. It was a really good event. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Springfield. Any other, Councillor Davies? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to briefly report that it was a couple of days after our last council meeting that we had the volunteers reception. So that was that's a highlight, I think, for me as each year on council to have dinner with just the absolutely just the goodwill of our community. So that was wonderful. And likewise, one of Tumark Ward's residents and actually a former councillor for Central Ward, Michael Schilling, is my National Health Nurse of the Year. So I'd like to publicly congratulate Michael, who on a huge achievement, yeah, that's some more good news. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. I'll go to Councillor Moore. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Springfield. Yes, it was the World Elder Abuse Awareness Day at the Cardinia Cultural Centre. I was fortunate enough to represent the Mayor and the councillors on the day, and Councillor Springfield was there, which was fantastic to see. Gina Fisk, from the seniors' rights, spoke very, very well about the rights of our seniors. Very enlightening presentation, actually, for the day. And our own Fiona Costa used to work here. She did a fantastic job of discussing family violence and what impact it has on our community. So well done to our staff who ran that on the day. Audrey Dobson, our Senior Citizen of the Year, was the MC for the day and did a fantastic job. So it was a really great day last Thursday. I did the week in the middle of that. I went to a church group, the Uniting Church in Bunyip, for the first time, which was really fantastic after all these years. I was invited as their guest speaker to have dinner there, and I probably spoke for too long. You'll probably find that hard to believe, but I did, and it was a really great night. A great group of people there who you wouldn't. Some of these groups that you don't see or hear of very often, but they were a really warming group and welcomed me very well. So it was a really great night to have at the Uniting Church in Bunyip. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Any other councillors? Councillor Ross, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a really busy month, I must say. That weekend, the volunteer dinner, I had to be an apology. It was great some of our councillors could go, but at the same time, we had the MAV State Conference on. The Mayor and the Deputy Mayor went to that because they represented a council on a really, really important couple of motions that they put forward into the sector. So that was well attended. I went down to the ALGA conference, which was attended by 180 different councillors and mayors from all around Australia. And the group is just an amazing group. A group of women do things, I would say, better than men all the time. Everything they do, the training that they do, the guest speakers that they make sure they cover every base, and the people that they have there are absolutely excellent. The leaders in their field, they cover all different subjects. I was one of a few men that went down, and they commented that they feel really sad that men don't feel like they need to connect and understand as much as what they need to. And I reflect the fact that on some councils, 70 to 80% of all the staff are women. A lot of the people now on councils, I'm in the Mornington Peninsula Council down there, which is who hosted the event fabulously well at Cape Shank. They've got, I think, out of their 11 councillors, something like 9 are women on council. So, and it's really amazing when you hear about the projects that they put forward and how passionate they are about that and how it changes the whole dynamic of how they reach out to the community and what they see as important. And that's really good to understand, because 52% of the population are women, and we need to be able to connect and understand what their needs are and what they want and how we can provide those services. That was one event that I went to, and I attended the flag raising and also the lunchtime event here held at Council for Ida Hobbit Day. For those who don't know what Ida Hobbit Day it is, the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia and Transphobia. And this came about, and the date was chosen to commemorate the decision to remove homosexuality from the international classification for diseases of the World Health Organization in 1990. Isn't that a disgrace? It was known as a disease. Absolutely horrific. And those people who had to endure during those times were just monstered by everyone around them. And that's why their death rate and the suicide rate is so high. Hopefully we can be a leading light as a council to appreciate and consider all people. And I've attended quite a few of these events. And I must say the activity they did here at lunchtime was really, really good. It was really fun. You got to learn so much more about the sector, and people got to share so many of their what they go through and how things have come along, but there's a long way to go. So that was Ida Hobbit Day. I attended the IYU running track for my my Connect magazine piece. And we met with the future users of the facility, and they're just so excited. And we hope that the grass will grow so it'll be ready to go for the start of the season, because that will they won't have to prepare the grass down there, which is a huge effort to try and turn it into an athletics track. Whereas if they've got one all ready to go, they're just so excited. It's going to grow the club. So many people are going to use it. I attended with the mayor and some of my other councillors citizenship ceremonies. We had a couple held on the Saturday. There was about 150 went through on each one. That's really, really exciting. I reflected over the 15 years I've been on council, I think I've seen over 15,000 people go through, become new residents, citizens of Australia who live in Cardinia Shire. So that's really exciting. I know I have a blast. I have a joke with people and hand out, sometimes we hand out the certificates or we shake their hand and we just welcome them into the Shire to know that and the feedback is they find it's just a landmark day in their life when they change, their citizenship or they include a new one, and we encourage them to bring their culture with them, appreciate our culture too, which they do, and they want to embrace that, but they can bring their own, and that brings so many colourful events and amazing people into our Shire. I attended the Kuirup Swamp Historical Society annual lunch. Down there was approximately 80 people who carry the weight of history in Cardinia Shire, which is really, really interesting when you hear their perspective and they talk about the past. And it's really sad that that might be lost unless more people take interest in it. There was a book released down there, which was an older version of a book about the swamp and how it was created and the whole lot of it and the different groups that went through. But it appears like, and they were sharing with me how some of the younger generation just aren't interested in history at all and they just move away. So hopefully we can harness that knowledge to preserve it for the future, so then we know why we are the way we are. I attended Reconciliation Week up at the Emerald Hub, and I must say that the performer that they had there, which had performed at other things for council, absolutely outstanding. He's a world-class performer. And I saw kids from kinder age, primary school age, high school age, did not lose their concentration at all. This guy was an amazing performer, but he also told stories that were really, really interesting stories and connecting us to the Indigenous history and culture and how we can connect better with them. That was a really, really good thing. And I'd encourage council to try and get the guy along to more things, because anyone who sees him perform, you will walk away more knowledgeable than you were before, and you'll be really delighted by what you see. I attended the Cardinia Interfaith Network. we need to try and get more people involved. So anyone of faith out there who wants to come along, we'd encourage you to come along. It's a really great network. We learn about each other. We learn to appreciate each other's different faiths and have an understanding, which goes a long way to building harmony in our, and we can be Cardinia Shire can be one harmonious Shire where we do appreciate everybody's difference. I attended Summer Snow Orchard and met the general manager there. He led me through what this generation's done, and they've turned it from being an orchard where they just picked apples to sell them into adding value to all of the stuff that they do. And now they're one of the leading producers of the apple juice that goes into mini ciders and high quality products that you buy in the market now. And they're a leader in this area, and they've got an amazing little cafe there where people can go up and get some lunch or afternoon tea. So I'd encourage you to go up there to Summer Snow in Officer. Councillor Davies will probably talk about the playground in Lakeside that was revamped and opened. I must say, Councillor Davies spoke on behalf of council on the occasion, and she gave a really good view of what playgrounds mean to families with kids from a mum's perspective on particularly coming out of COVID, where they're just a real release. It gets you out of the house, you get something to look forward to. They go down there, they have a run around, and she gave a really good depiction of what a mother and a family and playgrounds mean to each other. I attended the Cardinia Community Leadership Program alumni event, and this brings back a lot of memories over the years I've been on council, because you meet so many people there who are leaders in our Shire and are doing amazing things, and they're setting the standard out there, and they all speak glowingly about council's program, how it assisted them from going and being just someone in society to knowing how they can branch out bigger and get more people involved in the community. I know that our mayor attended as well. I know that Emma Voolan was part of it as well. And there's many other people there who just shared that it really helped them, gave them confidence. And it's a really good thing that we have this alumni that they get back together to have a chat. And they ran a program there while we after the initial little bit of food that they had, which was training for them all. So hopefully, and they launched an online portal where they can all talk to each other. They can ask questions by council, get information. So that was a really good event. And I attended the Coffee with a Cop down at Pakenham Plaza, which was excellent. So many people from the community come up just in the hour to talk to the police about issues. We have questionnaires where we had a facilitator there asking people questions about the community to try and draw them out so that we would share. We also had our emergency services people down there and our waste people down there too. I attended the Sikh temple on Sunday because I couldn't attend their official event the other week. So I got a personal tour of all the things that they were doing with the 200 trees that they put up. The amount of organisations who put those trees in, I think there was probably at least a dozen organisations and schools have asked to come along and help propagate the area as well. Also too, it was highlighted to me that the chefs who feed you the food are world-class chefs. The head guy there used to feed up to 50,000 people a day over in India. And then the musicians that they had are world-class musicians too that do their services. I'm coming to an end. That's right. We attended in Councillor Springfield, and there was quite a few of us up there for the Emerald Rail Trail opening and upgrade at the Emerald End. Is that correct, what I've named it? I think I mightn't have got it quite correct. That's the one. That's the one. But that was really, really good, and it just shows how the quality of the trails are now that you can actually, all abilities probably go on a fair bit of it as well. And the last thing I'll say is I was an apology at the Elder Awareness Day. I was actually heading there and I went to get in the car and I had a flat tyre, so I just couldn't get there in time. So that was an apology. That doesn't happen very often, but it did to me on that day. So anyway, it's been a really busy month. It's been great to get out in the community and meet so many people and find out what they like and what they don't like. I'll leave some time for someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ross. Councillor Kowaczyk.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be slightly more brief. Yes, very busy at the moment. I just want to say you right over there? I just want to say thank you to Councillor Springfield for your reconciliation message. We had a couple of reconciliation events that I attended. One was here with the Mayor at the front of the Civic Centre, and one was up in the hills. Yeah, both really, really important, and I think both our Mayor and Councillor Springfield represented as well with their speaking engagements for the day, and a couple of really great events there. Councillor Ross already mentioned the tree planting for World Environment Day at the Sikh Temple that I attended. That was a fantastic event, well attended by a number of federal and state MPs. And really, you know, the best result is 200 trees got put into the ground. So really positive there. Some of the other events include, fantastic, my favourite event for the month, the ribbon cutting at the Pakenham Toy Library in the mighty Pakenham Hills ward. It's the first opening we've had there this council term, I think, actually. So it was very exciting, even if it was a reopening. Thank you to the Mayor for letting me do that one. Really well done to all the volunteers involved with that in terms of stock taking, getting insurances, getting all the toys working again and getting it back up and functioning. So I just want to encourage anyone in the community, if you have young kids, go down and get a membership at the Pakenham Toy Library, get involved, give them a chop out down there. They do absolutely fantastic work. It was really good. And then, of course, the volunteer reception that some councillors have already mentioned was a really good event. Again, our Mayor represented us fantastically well. Well done to everyone who was nominated, and of course our winner, Jeff. Thank you, sir. And yeah, it was a really good event where councillors could come together with the community, with some of our senior staff, and really have a good time and really celebrate, you know, the really good bits about volunteering. Not focus on the negatives and just really celebrate that. So I'll leave it there. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kovacic. Yeah, I'll just quickly mention also the Stan Henwood volunteer reception. Thank you to Councillor Kovacic for doing a great job at emceeing, and to all the councillors who attended to support our volunteers of the community. And I'd like to congratulate all the nominees. I can see a nominee sitting in the gallery now. And a big congratulations to our overall Stan Henwood winner, Jeffrey Latter. But I just really want to say thank you to our volunteers, which then leads me also to the Cardinia Art Show. And I see another great volunteer sitting here in the gallery tonight. I went to that a couple of times and it was absolutely fantastic. My favourite was the wearable art, and I look forward to next year's exhibition. So well done on a great exhibition again this year. And just also, I know this has been mentioned, but Reconciliation Week I think was the best that council has ever done, that I've seen anyway. There were a number of events that I attended. They were so engaging. We had so many schools attend and participate. We had an event here with Indigenous youth leaders where I came and spoke to them in the roads about leadership within Cardinia Shire. And I just think we really had a great reach and a good connection with especially our youth this Reconciliation Week. And so I'd just like to congratulate, I know Emma Carter in particular had a lot to do with that week and the events that we held, and of course the team that come along with her. So I just really wanted to give her a big shout out because it was fantastic, the job that she did. So thank you all councillors for your reports. It has been a very busy week, and we always enjoy hearing feels like a week. What's feel like a year? It was a month. And I always enjoy hearing what we've all been up to. So we'll just move on to presentation of petitions now. Any petitions, councillors? Oh, Councillor Springfield.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a petition to present. Thank you. This petition was delivered by the sorry, it had slipped my mind that this petition was sitting in my desk in front of me, but I do have it here for a reminder. So apologies for that. This petition was presented by the Hills Photographic Society, and it's in relation to access and ability for the community to the Hills Hub, and improved access and ability to the Hills Hub. So I'd like to table this petition, please.
Thank you, Councillor Springfield, and this petition will lay on the table for consideration by the council at its next ordinary meeting. Thank you. Notices of motion. I will refer to the CEO regarding the notice of motion listed in the agenda papers. Ms Jeffs, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The notice of motion was Councillor Owen's notice of motion, and due to his leave of absence, we will hold that over until he's returned. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Community question time. So we have received a series of questions from Pam Anushka Mutharachi. I can see Pam sitting here in the gallery. Thank you. I will refer your questions to the Acting General Manager, Governance, Facilities and Economy, Owen Hardage, to read and answer. Thank you, Mr Hardage.
Thank you, Mayor. A series of questions is received from Pam Anushka Tuarachi. Apologise for the pronunciation. The questions relate to the Winterfest photo competition. There are 5 questions. The questions read, what process and what criteria did Cardinia Council use to determine if a like is fraudulent on a Facebook post on the What's on Cardinia photo competition? Question 2, the post on the 2nd of June states that the decision was based on evidence without naming the participants to protect privacy, or what is the number of photos with fraudulent likes and how many fraudulent likes are there in total? 3, in an email from Owen Hardage, he states the following. For the sake of clarity, I wish to make it clear that Council does not allege that any entrants have engaged in fraudulent, unethical or illegal behaviour. We cancelled the competition because we could not be satisfied that the voting was occurring with integrity and fairness. What would fairness and integrity look like in a Facebook competition that's based on likes? Question 4. Why did the Council decide to cancel the competition and not award a winner from those photos that did not have this alleged fraudulent activity? And question 5, the statement also mentions that the prizes will be redistributed into community initiatives. What are the community initiatives that the prize money went to? In response to that, the Winterfest photo competition was run in May 2023 on the What's on Cardinia website. A short list of 30 photos were then displayed on the What's on Cardinia Facebook page, with the public invited to like their favourite photos from 1 May to 22nd of May 2023, when the competition was scheduled to close. The intention was to award prizes, being Visa gift cards, based on the number of Facebook likes with a combined value of $800. A total of 272 entrants were received and 30 images were shortlisted. In the days just prior to the competition closing, council officers noted a pattern in the voting that was unexpected and irregular. There was a significant disparity between the number of votes cast for the photos in first and second place and those in the rest of the competition. At that point, the number of votes cast for the first and second place entrants was greater than the next 6th placed entrants combined. This also constituted an unusually high number of unique engagements with a council post. This prompted a review of a sample of Facebook profiles that had cast votes on the photos in first and second place. A large number of the profiles reviewed showed limited or no Facebook activity, including an absence of apparent online history, friend connections and other attributes that would usually indicate an active Facebook user. This strongly suggested that the profiles were not genuine, and so too potentially the likes was associated with them. While none of these individual factors definitively point to inappropriate conduct, the competition organisers formed the view that the aggregate of these factors strongly suggested that the results of the competition had been skewed by votes acquired by improper and concerted means, and that the tally of votes did not reflect the opinion of individual Facebook users. In these circumstances, the officers made a difficult decision to advise entrants that the competition would be cancelled. To be clear, Council does not allege that any of the entrants did anything fraudulent or illegal, nor do we identify specific Facebook users that we say are fraudulent. However, the sum total of voting behaviour has led officers to believe that the overall integrity of the voting process has been distorted and fundamentally undermines the process as a fair way to award a prize. Council officers carefully considered alternative ways to deliver the competition and to determine prize winners. However, given the circumstances, there were no other methods to judge the cohort of entries without the associated concern regarding the integrity of the competition. Council officers are yet to finalise the distribution of funds to a local charity. Council officers regret the inconvenience caused to individual entrants.
Thank you. Mr. Hardage. Pam, you also received that answer in writing via email. Thank you. We have also received some questions from Gillian Ronald, and I see Gillian is here. I will refer your questions to the General Manager, Livable Communities, Lily Rosick, to read and answer. Thank you, Ms. Rosick.
Thank you, Gillian Ronald, for your questions this evening. The first question reads, could you give us an update on the future of the Deep Creek Golf Course venue? Will it be possible to use the facility for future events such as an art exhibition? The answer, the Deep Creek Reserve Golf Course and Function Centre is currently not operating and closed due to the appointment of voluntary administrator by the Deep Creek Club Committee. Updates and further details are provided on Council's website. Council will shortly be calling for expressions of interest for an operator to operate both the golf course and the function centre. Once the new operators are in place, bookings will be able to be made through the new operator. In the meantime, Council has other venues currently available for events such as art exhibition. More details regarding these can be found via Council's website under Booking Cardinia and will be shared with you, Gillian Ronald. Question 2. What is the expected finish date for the new youth facility? And I understand that was discussed by councillors this evening at the council meeting. Just to confirm, the construction of the new youth hub is expected to be completed by the end of 2023, with services to be operational in the new year. The project has experienced some delays due to weather conditions, supply chain and construction issues. The new hub located at James Street, Pakenham, will offer significant benefits for young people aged 12 to 25 and their families when opened early next year, with several key agencies co-located on the site. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rosick. And Gillian, you'll receive those answers via email as well. Thank you. Now, before I close the meeting tonight, I advise that we have a special council meeting next Monday to consider the budget for 2023-24 financial year. So that concludes tonight's meeting, and I thank all councils and our general managers for your assistance with tonight's meeting. Thank you to those in the gallery for attending and those watching online, and I now declare the meeting closed. Thank you.